Hello, everybody. Beautiful starlights. Thank you for joining me today on Death Chats. And my name's Kim Copeland. I am here with as an experienced hospice nurse, thousands of people I have sat at the bedside with, and also a psychic medium too. So we're talking today about how you can help others transition. Now, maybe you've done it in the past, maybe you're doing it now, or maybe you have, maybe you're going to do it in the future. So I'm hoping this will give you some reassurance about what to do and confidence in what you're doing. All right. So, first of all, remember when somebody's transitioning, they are in a very different phase of this everyday life that most of us are in. We kind of are moving fast, we talk fast, we think fast. Maybe we have the music on, the TV on, things are busy around in our life as a general rule. But when somebody starts to transition, their whole system slows down and everything becomes more sensitive. So, what used to be fun, what used to be enjoyable, the newspaper, the news, the loud music, or the parties, or the people visiting, that changes because it's a time where we go within. We have to have that within time to find our place, that portal to exit, right? Now, remember, as a human, we've done it many, many times, but we don't remember it usually. So, I mean, I know some of you probably do, but most of us don't. So it does feel like a new experience, and it can be very scary. And sometimes we're looking for that door. I mean, the door of the way out of here. How do you get out? What's the exit point? I remember when my father was transitioning, and my sister, who's not psychic at all, but she doesn't even believe in any of this stuff, by the way, or maybe mostly not. But she saw him. He was probably a week before he passed, but she was in the room with him. He was not responsive to her, but she saw his spirit clear as day. While his physical body was in the bed, she saw his physical spirit go to the door, the bedroom door, and try to open it. Couldn't figure out how to open the door. And I feel like this is what happens to our patients, our family, our friends, our patients. Um, just getting that right key, getting it to unlock. There's lots of things that we can do as helpers in this process. So don't feel like you can't do anything. So, but first of all, remember, everything is slowing down. And it's also important for those who are caregivers to try to slow down as well, to match that vibration that they're bringing in. Let's just say if they're breathing really fast, for instance, that can happen. Maybe they're short of breath. You want to help slow that breathing down. How do you do that? You connect with them. You breathe fast with them first, but then you start breathing slower, and then that resonance will happen between the two of you. Okay, that's just an idea. But remember, your energies resonate. So if you're feeling hyper, they're going to feel hyper. Okay. If they're feeling hyper, you're going to feel hyper. So remember that when you come into the space of somebody who is transitioning, come in slowly and notice. Be in the present moment. Notice how it feels. Notice, do you feel the angels? You probably will. Notice who else you might feel in the room. Is it departed loved ones? Are the pets there from the other side? Who is with that person now? Now, you may not notice any of that, but you will feel a shift of energy when you cross that threshold from one room to the next. So do be aware of that, because if you come in like you normally do to anywhere else, it's going to cause a little agitation with that family member or friend. Now, so it's just nice. It's just nicer to be in the present moment to notice, okay? So take a deep breath before you walk in and just go, I'm here now. I'm here now. And remember, whatever you do, you're not going to be perfect. Nobody's perfect. So they're not, and death is kind of messy anyway, and everybody's going to be unique in how they transition, just like we're all unique in how we live. We're going to continue to be unique all the way along. So do notice to be in that present moment. Um, Also, you want to talk slower. You want to move slower. You want to maybe pose a question and wait a few minutes. They're not going to be able to respond or even um, just even process it quickly. It's everything is slow in their world. They probably also notice what's around the room too. They probably notice the angels and the departed loved ones already there before, whether you do or not, they probably do. So, and they might even say, well, hello, Jerry, or, come on, who's at the end of my bed, or things like this. Just know that those are normal. Near death awareness is normal. And always validate whatever it is. Now, if there is hallucinations, that's a whole different subject. That's different than a vision. So maybe we'll talk about that another time. So do remember that it's all about the purity of your heart. You can use meds, of course, also to help ease pain and anxiety. And I want to do a whole nother video just on medicine, on the Western medicine. Okay. Um, you can also help somebody transition with guided meditation, and which would be helpful, especially if they're having anxiety, and especially if they're worried about dying or if they're worried about what to expect on the other side. You can do a guided process for them to cross over. It could be a bridge, it could be the veil, it could be a waterfall, it could be taking an airplane across to this other side, taking a look-see, maybe having a cup of tea in heaven, and then coming back. So that's also very helpful. There's several ways you can do that. You can do that with your voice, with walking them through a process. You can also do it with a drum. The beat, that slow beat of the heartbeat of the earth, to help them go into a little bit of an altered state where they can go through a little tunnel onto the other side. Now, back when I first started hospice in 1997, I had the honor and privilege of using a drum for my patients. And I got to do it for about a year. And I tell you what, I really, really enjoyed it. I appreciated it. So the way I did it and the way I learned it, and I learned this through Sandra Ingerman. You guys probably have heard of her, or some of you have anyway. I'm sorry if you haven't. She's an internationally known shamanic teacher. So what I learned from her was have somebody who's dying use a flower. It could be a picture of a flower, and have them imagine that in their mind. Now, they have to be awake enough to do this. Imagine it in their mind, and that when you're drumming, they go through the flower. They don't go in the flower, they go through it. It's like that circle of the flower allows them, like that portal. It's a portal to the other side. And then you don't have to, that's all you have to do. And let them do their own exploration. You don't have to guide it with your voice. You just guide it with the drum. And then they can explore a little bit, have a little tea in heaven or whatever happens in heaven for, just a few minutes, maybe 5 to 10 minutes, and then bring them back. All right. So that's another thing you can do. Another a beautiful thing is using sound, like singing bowls. That creates another portal, right? It also, if you use singing bowls, that helps clear the heart chakra, or any chakras really. But it is a portal. It creates a portal. So the singing bowls, you could even have it played from YouTube if you don't have singing bowls yourself, or any kind of Tibetan bowls. Those metal Tibetan bowls also work. It creates a nice portal, and it also clears the space, and it's beautiful. You can also use other kinds of music that is just relaxing, which would be like lullabies, country music, or other music that they're familiar with. All right, because the simpler the music, the better. Just like when you walk in and you're very busy in your voice and talk a mile a minute, they're not going to catch it. It's going to, the simpler, the better. So, same with the music, simple, okay? And remember, too, as somebody's transitioning, they're going within. So, they need that time to do that life review before they take their last breath. And they need that time to just kind of process, like, what's happening, right? And what's happening. And when they go within, they need less external stimuli. So in other words, less visitors, one or two for short periods, maybe 10 to 15 minutes, kind of like that might be enough. And I would suggest, if there's any way you can say, hey, let's just slow it down here. Um, and so less visitors, also less external stimuli like news, whether it's the newspaper, whether it's the TV or anything like that, or even, oh, here's something, uh, cartoons that are violent or shows that are violent. That can really affect their processing, because they can accidentally get confused that, like, is this happening to me or is that on the TV? So it's really anything like violence, and you want to probably not have it. Okay. Now, I do know people who like football. All right. I mean, I had one man who died at a football. He waited for the game. He waited for the Super Bowl, and he did die. I think I put a video on that already. But so some people, now football, even though to me it feels violent, but maybe for other people it's not violent. So whatever works on that. Okay. Um, okay. You can also help open portals by just clearing the energy over the body. So a couple things you can do. I work with the heart chakra a lot, because this is where we hold our emotional, the grief. We hold it really in our lungs and our heart and our neck a lot too. So you can clear that heart chakra. If you don't know how, I think maybe I may have done some videos on that, but you just use your hand to clear, and you could use your intention and just smooth that auric field. Again, you go slow, because if you're going really fast over the auric field, that's going to be irritating. All right. Just like too much touching is irritating as well. We become more sensitive. We become more, we become more psychic, more medium as we are transitioning. So everything is more sensitive. So even the auric field is more sensitive. So you go slow, and just imagine that you're smoothing it down. And that's very nice. Maybe do it 3 times, and just from head to toe. And that also is very good. That helps with pain, by the way. That will help with the heart. So that's really beautiful to do. Okay, here. Oh, another thing you can do, back to music again, you can invite, there's a couple organizations that work at the bedside. One is called the Threshold Choir. Now, they're free. You can look it up in your city to see if you can find their volunteers who come to sing at the bedside. And it's beautiful, and it creates portals for sure to the other side. All right, that's beautiful. And also, there's music thantology. Now, a lot of hospices will have this. A music thantologist has studied how to, usually they use a harp, and how to connect with the breath work and the music with the patient. And then they blend it, and so that it helps calm the nervous system and open a portal as well. It's wonderful. If you have that, great. Not all hospices do. I know in Portland we did, and we used it a lot. Okay, let me see here. I think artwork is another thing you could do. Now, when I say artwork, it's not going to be, Michelangelo. No, it's going to be simple. You can have, if your friend or loved one who's going through transition is able to hold something in their hand, crayons or whatever, and just using the colors, whatever they want to draw, that can also create a portal. Because in that art, we go into, it's like a meditation, right? This can create a portal to the other side, and it could be just a little visit in heaven. So let me see if I have anything else that I wrote down. Oh, colors. I like to use color, of course, too. For me, even though this isn't exactly a portal, but I like to imagine that you put the healing colors around somebody as they're transitioning, usually pink, blue, yellow, green. Those sorts of colors are nice to have around. Another thing, you might have pictures of heaven, pictures of angels. Remember, your friend or loved one will already be very aware of the energy in the room. They're going to be aware of the angels or the loved ones or the pets that are near them, and to validate whatever they say, validate that you also understand that there is somebody there that you may not be able to see, but they do. And hopefully when you walk in, you will feel the special energy that surrounds those in transition. Remember to please don't doubt yourself. Just trust your intuition and know that you can't really make a mistake. You can just try your best. We're only human. And really, I want to just really, really enforce that we're not perfect. And you got to have a little sense of humor and give yourself a break. If you're finding yourself critical of yourself or judging, oh my gosh, I shouldn't have let that happen. Oh, I waited 30 minutes too late to give the medicine. Oh, they got a skin tear, or their skin's breaking down. Remember, all that happens. It's going to happen anyway. When you can be 100% on the clock and everything, things happen. And so please give yourself a pat on the back for even wanting to assist people in this transition process. I believe, I think I told you last time, maybe, about a year and a half ago, I was shown, the angels told me there's going to be mass exodus. This is the time. And I felt like it would be about 2 years, but maybe I'm thinking now it might be like 3 years. That was from June of 2022 when the angels told me that. And so I feel like whatever I can do to help you guys in this process, I would like to do. So thank you so much. Many, many blessings. And don't hesitate to email me, Kim@mediumkim.com, Kim@mediumkim.com, or post comments below. And thank you so much. Blessings, everybody.